Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 6th day of February 2025. I hope this Thursday finds you safe and healthy, and I hope that your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying their best to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries such as mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are helping those that are victims of pornography and child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demands for these industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Well, Knicks Nation, today is the deadline of the trade season, and we can get rid of another bunch of garbage. You know, I like what Tom Thibodeau said. He said, out of every 100 trades mentioned, one gets done. And every season, the Knicks are highlighted as some big trade players. And this year was no different. And so Mitchell Robinson is still the longest tenured Knick. You have Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, and Jericho Sims that were drafted in the Tibbs era and are still here. Mitchell Robinson was actually drafted before the Tibbs era and is still here. And so I'm glad we have these three guys. Well, we're not going to have one of them for long because Ian Begley did report with some definitiveness that Jericho Sims was going to be traded today. So by 3 o'clock, we should hear of a Jericho Sims trade. Now, before you all start fantasizing and getting stupid, they're not looking for a player back. Okay, so y'all can stop tripping about that. In an ideal situation, the Knicks right now are $500,000 below the second apron. So they're going to be paying taxes, but they don't want to go above the second apron, which increases the tax load and restricts you. So they'll probably looking to trade Jericho Sims for some sort of second round compensation. And so therefore, if they're doing that, he's got to go to a team that can absorb his $2 million. You know, so that's a limited number of teams. So you're talking about Washington, Detroit, you know, teams that have the cap space to absorb the $2 million and send back the second round pick compensation. So you're really just talking about a couple of teams, even though Houston has been heavily mentioned. I don't know if Houston, unless a third team's involved, and for a second round pick, I don't know if teams would go through all of that, but stranger things have happened. This is the league. But Houston hasn't mentioned, but as far as that's concerned, I would think that it's more likely to be a San Antonio Spurs than Houston. But we'll see, because San Antonio really right now, they just acquired, as you know, De'Aaron Fox, but he's their biggest money. He's the most money on their books at $34 million. Devin Vassell, he's going to get $35 million. Devin Vassell getting $29 million, and then Keldon Johnson at 19, Harrison Barnes at 18. You know, so there's worse rosters as far as dollars are concerned. So they could have the money to absorb $2 million. In fact, I'm pretty sure. In fact, they do have the money to absorb $2 million. They can absorb $2 million in Jericho Sims. It's going to be a team that could do that, though, and that can offer the compensation that the Knicks are looking for. So that'll be the only move. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson, I never believed all of the crap that was coming with respect to it. It was always clickbait to me. I don't care who said it. Because, first of all, again, let's go back. First of all, what Tom Thibodeau said, out of every 100 trades mentioned, one gets done. Secondly, aside from the people that don't think and just want to get something done out of emotion, take that out the picture. You look at the Knicks roster. You have Karl Anthony Towns at the 5. You have right now, you have Precious Achiuwa backing him up at the 5 for the most part. When there's foul trouble, they use, as you saw, Hoop Porty. When you get Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson is one of the top offensive rebounders in the world. So you put him in the second unit and your team becomes, on another level, because any team's second unit has got to deal with Mitchell Robinson. So why would you trade that for Jonas Valanciunas or anybody? Why would you do that? You wouldn't. It doesn't make any logical sense. And so one thing that I love about this regime is you can count on it doing things that make logical sense. Okay? They don't do things that just because. It's going to make sense, and it's not going to waste no money. The Don ain't taking no shorts. So that never made sense to me. So it makes sense to go get OG Anunoby and Precious Achiuwa for RJ and IQ. RJ coming from Toronto, IQ being prepared now to lead his own team, and the Knicks needing that defensive wing. It made sense. It made sense to go get a Mikal Bridges, another Villanova product that fits with the other Villanova products that we have, that's plug and play, that could play defense, that could score 20 a game every night. It makes sense. That's always available. Those things make sense. But to trade Mitchell Robinson, why? Because y'all say he's hurt so much. But if he's coming off your bench and you're limiting his minutes to like 20, that's a whole different game. It's like what we were talking about with Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren also lighting the behind. And he's hurt now. But I'm saying what OKC was doing was limiting his minutes to less than 30 a game. And last year, because they did that, he lasted the season, right? And this year, he got hurt anyway. But the thing is that's why he went and got Hartenstein. So, they managed that. And I think that's going to be the situation with guys like him, Victor Wembanyama, and those guys. They'll limit them. I'm not saying they're going to all be part-time players, but you're not going to see them playing 40 minutes a night. And so with Mitchell Robinson, if you have him in the second unit, you just preserved his career. You got more out of him. And as a second unit, if he's going to play against second units in the NBA are going to have a problem. Okay? So that was never going to happen. So, I never believed it, and I still, whatever. So MitchRob is here. And next year, he's expiring at $13 million. A guy that's one of your top rebounders and definitely top offensive rebounds in the NBA that can protect the rim at an elite level and coming off your bench, I don't know. I don't know what the Knicks would be able to get as compensation. Certainly not no Jonas Valanciunas, Daniel Tyson, all these scrubs that was being propagated. No, I don't know what you're going to get that you're going to get at that value. That's just looking at it hard, value-wise. You're not. So I can see a strong possibility of them re-signing Mitchell Robinson for the purpose of him coming off the bench, especially while you got Karl Anthony Towns locked up. The real big question next is, can we get Precious Achiuwa back? That's the question. $6 million this year. To me, his market value is around $12 million. I'm looking at him as a guy that's probably around the mid-level exception money. I don't know if they can afford to do it or if they're allowed to do it. People got all their opinions, and I'm sure you're going to bombard me with that. But that's the big thing. Can we get Precious back? Because if you could get Precious Achiuwa, and now you got a guy that can play 5, he can play 4, he can guard 1 through 5. He's a defensive player. And he still has upside. He's now learning to put the ball on the floor and hit his 3-point shot. You want to keep that. Again, we're talking about value. You got a guy that's 25 years old with upside, and you got him at $6 million. If you could get him at 12, that'd be a perfect deal. Something between, I would say, 8 and 12 a year. So if you could get him something between, like, let's say 4 years, 32 million, 4 years, 48 million, you got a good deal. That's value for Precious Achiuwa, and you got a championship piece. That's what you got. Okay, championship piece. So let's go over some of the trades that happened. Valanciunas ended up going to the Kings. That makes sense because they just got DeRozan and they got Zach LaVine and they just lost De'Aaron Fox. Now, you want to talk about an organization that's confused. They drafted De'Aaron Fox. They drafted Off Night, right? And then they drafted Halliburton. All of them gone. Top picks, lottery picks, all of them gone. Davion Mitchell, gone. Tyrese Halliburton, gone. De'Aaron Fox, gone. I don't know who their point guard is going to be. I don't know who their point guard is going to be because I don't know. So now you got Zach LaVine, you got DeMar DeRozan, and who's your point guard? I don't know. Who did they get? Who's their point guard? I don't even know. See, Malik Monk is their point guard. Now, Malik Monk is a tremendous off guard, but he ain't no point guard. And not only that, I'm not sure how Malik Monk going to be feeling when they just sent this boy to San Antonio. I don't know. Devin Carter, maybe that's your point guard. I don't know. But anyway, they now have Jonas Valanciunas. They had Sabonis starting. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, Jonas would be a backup. I mean, are they dumb enough to let Sabonis walk too? I don't know. Sabonis is still there, 6'11" monster. Maybe they got a baby MitchRob situation. Sabonis and Jonas, and we got Gato and MitchRob. Maybe that's it. That could be it. I don't know. And then you got the Thunder getting Daniel Tice from the Pelicans, and the Pelicans getting draft consideration. That's just getting rid of salary because they paying Zion all that money. Then the Mavericks get Caleb Martin, and the Sixers get our boy Q-Dog, Quentin Grimes. I'm always pulling for my boy Quentin Grimes. Liked him coming out of Houston, still like him. It's hard because I hate the Sixers, as most of us do, but I'm pulling for Quentin. I'm hoping Quentin gets a good situation, good contract this summer, and lights it up there in Sixers. He's been having a good year. He was averaging double figures, 40% from three, and he was coming into his own. I still think let's see what happens. I don't know what they're going to use him, how they're going to use him, but that's going to be the situation. So we know that De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, Zach LaVine to the Kings, Zach Collins, Kevin Hurd, Trey Jones to the Bulls. The Bulls were a mess. I never understood that they actually thought they were going to win something with Lonzo Ball is a professor in the Anthony Ambulance School. Been that way. So they were going to give him $80 million. You're going to get DeRozan, and you're going to get LaVine, and then you got Vucevic, which Vucevic is a nice center, but if you're depending on him to help you get to the promised land, well, you see what happened. And so now they done cleaned house, let them start over, and you know what? They gotta rebuild. That's period. Lakers, of course, big move. AD to Dallas, Luka to the Lakers. You might have just handed the Lakers the West right there. Then now, Mo Bamba, for all you Mo Bamba fans, Mo Bamba from Harlem, he's gonna be for New Orleans Jazz now. He probably gonna be their starting center. So he's gonna get his chance to do it. He's had other chances now. Let's see he can stay off the injured list. That's another dude that likes to be hurt all the time, unavailable. The Suns got some of y'all favorite, Nick Richards. I've been hearing Nick Richards from July. But he's on the Suns. The Suns needed that. The dude they had was too soft. And then they got the Hornets gets Josh Okogie, one of Tibbs' boys. The Lakers, of course, we know Dorian Finney-Smith is on the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell on the Nets. Okay. And we know about Schroeder to the Wizards. And again, the biggest news today is Jimmy Butler is going to where's Jimmy Butler going? Jimmy Butler going to Golden State. Yeah, that Jimmy Butler is going to Golden State, and I think they sending Andrew Wiggins back to Miami. Jimmy Butler's going to the Warriors. Andrew Wiggins is going to Miami. Miami won that trade. Right now, Golden State is desperate. Period. They're desperate. They're trying to milk the stardom of Stephen Curry as long as they can. But the glory days is over. Listen, man. Everybody that builds up eventually has to tear down. It's just how it works. People get old, salaries come into play, and all of that. So Jimmy Butler had wanted to go to Phoenix, but he's ended up with Stephen Curry and Golden State. They got their problem child. So apparently Golden State have agreed to a 2-year, $111 million extension on Butler. I am so glad that we got the Don on our team. 2 years, $111 million for this problem child? Hell no. So, and Miami just got better. Andrew Wiggins could ball. Okay? And now they just got a nice rookie in Khalil Ware. And they're playing Bam at the 4. And it's working pretty good for them. Yeah. So I think Miami won that trade, period. And so all of that going on, we still got Jericho. Like I said, I'm looking at Washington, Detroit, San Antonio, and Houston as the 4 teams that we're looking at for Jericho. I think New Orleans is a possibility. I'm not sure what their financial situation is, but they have been in search of a center for a while. They had Jonas Valanciunas on their team. I don't know why they let him go. They had Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas. They've had all of that. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there. Again, we should be thankful we got the Don on our team. Because some of these teams, what the hell? You think, what are they doing, man? Now, New Orleans is $42 million over the cap. They got first apron space of $6 million. So they could probably do it. Second apron space is $17 million. They might be able to do it. So New Orleans is another possibility because, I don't even know who their starting center going to be. Shoot. I'm looking, you remember there was a time, not long ago, y'all, when the Knicks were a laughing stock. Remember we had like 10 million power forwards? Thank you, Steve Mills. Steve Mills had he had like 4 power forwards. It's like, what is he doing? And the roster made no sense. Remember that? And people are complaining about Tom Thibodeau and the Don. Are y'all crazy? I'm looking at this and I'm like, dang. 2 years, $111 million for 30 whatever he is. Jimmy Butler, problem child on every team he been on. Hell no. No. Oh, that's what it is. I'm looking at the Pelicans. Yves Missy. I forgot about the rookie. The boy got talent. Yves Missy. I forgot about the rookie. And Toronto just sent Kelly Olynyk down there, and they got B.I. So B.I.'s out of there. He wasn't helping them anyway. Another guy on the continual board of directors of the Anthony Ambulance School of Unavailability. So you got Zion. I think all they got to do now is make sure Zion stay away from them donuts, and they're going to be all right. Because you keep Zion healthy. He's pretty slim looking for him, right now. You keep Zion healthy. You got Trey Murphy III. He dropped a couple of 40-point games last week. So I liked him. To me, that draft, you recall, that was my number 1 dude to get. Then Q-Dog, for the wing. And then I wanted Deuce. And Trey Murphy went to New Orleans before the Knicks could pick him. But I like Trey Murphy coming out of Virginia, man. 7-foot wingspan, could play the 2 or the 3, could defend, could shoot the rock, obviously. So, yeah, they got him at the 2. CJ and the scrapper from New York, from the Bronx, Jose Alvarado, like him too. So they looking like they rounded into shape a little bit. They Kelly Olynyk's a nice backup to the kid. They got Bruce Brown too. I didn't really realize that. They got Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk from Toronto. So Toronto got Brandon Ingram, and New Orleans got Kelly Olynyk. Let me see. They got Kelly Olynyk. Brandon Ingram goes to the Raptors for Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown, apparently. Yeah. Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first-round pick, a second-round pick. They traded Brandon Ingram to Toronto. Hey, New Orleans won that trade. They got off a lot of money, and then they went and got Kelly Olynyk, which is, Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown's expiring. They got a first-round pick and a second-round pick. New Orleans is setting up for a nice run now. So this coming draft, they can get something else. They need another couple of pieces, They need another couple of pieces. That's it. Because like I said, if they can keep Zion away from the daggone donuts, they probably be in good shape. Because They got Javonte Green as penciled in as they starting small forward. They need something. I'm not hating on Javonte Green, but he's not that dude for the start. If you want to, I'm talking about teams that's trying to build toward that chip. So they need another couple pieces, but they on their way. The Knicks, though, we just need Mitchell Robinson to get back on the lineup, and we just a couple of days from having that, yo. So we good, okay? We not New Orleans. We not the Kings, mess. We not Chicago, mess. We not Golden State, mess. See? Washington, rebuilding, mess. Remember a couple of years ago? Brooklyn got Kyrie and Durant, and they was laughing at the Knicks, and we the new team, mess. We good, yo. We solid. We solid. And we set for a little while. This team the Knicks now have, they just need to stay healthy. That's it. That's really it. As far as talent, I don't want to hear nothing about this roster no more. From nobody. We good. We got everything we need. 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. Bench, we good. Okay? We good. We just need to stay healthy. So, here we go down the stretch. We in good shape. Right now, as it stands, the Knicks are third in the East, right? Third in the East as it stands right now. Third in the East. They got a 4-game lead on the 4th spot, Indiana. They are 2 full games behind the Boston Celtics, who we play Saturday night. The Knicks are 8-2 in their last 10. Thank you, Tom Thibodeau. And, we won 2 straight. And they've won, what? They've won 7 of their last 8 games. Yes. We doing all right. Now, we can't sit back on our laurels, and I don't expect the Knicks to do that. But I do expect us to be able to grind out some W's. So now, at this point, 34-17, we got 31 games left. Oh, I hate the end of the season, because I do not look forward to the summer. There's no Knicks basketball. You just got summer league and everybody talking mess like, Kolic's going to be in the rotation garbage. This next summer's next stuff. But for now, I'm going to enjoy, and we should enjoy what we got. We in good position. I still think somebody going to lose their spot. 55 wins. I'm still looking at 55 wins. Second in the East. But if we stayed third in the East, I ain't going to whine about it. But second does look a whole lot better, don't it? So we're going to see, though. But Cleveland is the class of the East right now. You got to give it to them. I am surprised, but they are the class of the East. Last night, I'm watching Detroit, and I'm thinking Detroit got a chance to beat them. Kay Cunningham and them was giving them all they could handle in Detroit last night. Cleveland still won, man. Cleveland is the class of the East right now. So we're going to see what we got to do. See, but New York, Boston, Cleveland, I don't know who the 4th best team in the East is. Milwaukee probably made, to me, the biggest impactful trade of the East. Getting Kyle Kuzma for Chris Middleton. What you just did is you got young Chris Middleton. That's what you just did. You got a young Chris. You got a younger version of Chris Middleton now, in Kyle Kuzma, and Kyle Kuzma, for all his pink antics, the boy know how to play with good players. You put some good players around him, and don't make him the top dog like he's the 3rd option, which he would be. He's good. See, it's all about fit. As a 3rd option, Kuzma's a different player. As a 1st option, hell no. But as a 3rd option, with Giannis and Dame Dollar, you got something. I ain't gonna front. You got something now. So, to me, they made the biggest move in the East. The West made most of the moves, but in terms of impacting their position in their conference, Milwaukee, to me, hands down, because now you got Dame Dollar, Jackson, Kuzma, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. You got Bobby Portis coming off the bench, Victorian Prince, Gary Trent Jr., and AJ Green. Listen, that's a nice squad. And Giannis is top 5 on the planet in terms of best players. So, and he's still, he making babies and getting strong. So he gonna be something else. But listen, in terms of the Knicks, I ain't worried about Milwaukee though. I ain't. But I'm just saying, I would favor them to be 4th in the East. That's what I'm saying. I would favor Milwaukee at this point to be the 4th spot in the East. Right now, Indiana's the 4th spot in the East. And Milwaukee's the 5th spot in the East, and they're a game from each other. I think this move for Kyle Kuzma makes Milwaukee a strong favorite to finish 4th in the East. Yeah, because they're the most solid team. I like the Pistons too, and the Pistons, like I said at the beginning of the season, the Pistons, this is the year for them to be doing 500 and getting in the play-in. See, they've been below the play-in, during this last couple of years. But Cade Cunningham is now coming into his own. The team that they have around them. I had some knucklehead come on and talk about, well, they changed management. They did, but they didn't change the core of their building blocks. Cade is still a building block, right? They still got Jaden Ivey, building block, right? Jalen Duren, building block. They still got them guys. The young Thompson boy, Asor Thompson, building block. They still got a nice core of building blocks for their future. And they got a good coach. They're going JB Bickerstaff, ain't no joke, yo. So they got a good situation. So I'm expecting them to be in that 500 range, in that play-in range. They were in the 6th part of the East a couple of times this year, and they were only one game from Miami in the 6th seed. So this is going to be a dogfight. I'm not going to sleep on Detroit, and they done already beat the Knicks, so can't sleep on them. But I favor Milwaukee to be that 4th seed in the East, just based on that trade they did with Kyle Kuzma. I think that's going to work out pretty good for them. They just got to stay healthy, right? But if they do, they're going to be tough. But I'm not worried about nobody. The toughest team for the Knicks right now, the two, of course, are Cleveland and Boston. In a 7-game series with a healthy Mitchell Robinson, let's do it. Let's get it on. Let's see what we got. That's the way I'm looking at it. And when's the last time you've been able to say that about the New York Knicks? We're not worried about no Jordan Chicago Bulls. We're not worried about no Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Golden State, right? We're not worried about no LeBron, Miami. No. We're not worried about no Embiid, Philly. Nope. We're not worried about none of them. So, yeah, no Kawhi, Toronto. Nope. They got to worry about us. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. Shalom.